start with the center field position right now. It seems to be down with Odubel Herrera being out. Seems to be down right now between Mickey Moniak and Matt Vierling. Who do you go to as your center fielder opening day for the Philadelphia Phillies?
Well, me personally, I'm going Mickey Moniak. I think, he hit 2 more home runs today in the spring training game, and he's been a hitting machine. His fielding is decent enough. It's good enough. I know that defense is going to be a possible problem for this team, but we'll see. But I think that Mickey Moniak and Matt Vierling are going to be that sort of platoon that will feature in center field. But if I had to pick one for opening day, it's going to be Mickey Moniak. Joe Girardi, on the other hand, he's someone who might go for Moniak just because he's got the hot bat, but Girardi also has his favorites. He has his veterans that he likes to go to. So, this roster still has a lot of questions in certain areas that, Joe and the coaching staff are going to have to figure out and make those decisions. But personally, from a performance standpoint, Moniak has sealed the job to get that opening day start.
Love that idea. The other hot button is the hot corner, and that comes down to Bryson Stott. Do you move Didi Gregorius over, Stott to shortstop, Alec Bohm even? What do you do to solve that problem at the hot corner for the Phillies?
Well, I think that Bryson Stott is the right move right now just because he has the hot bat. He's been hitting very well. He's, him and Moniak have this sort of mental strength energy that they have just accumulated in the last year. And as an athlete, that's so critical. And even Moniak talked about it today in an interview about how he just really got his head straight, figured out the type of person and baseball player he wanted to be. And he's really showing like he's a first round pick, like he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But on the third base side, you also have Johan Camargo, who has MLB experience, Ronald Torreyes as well, who's a Girardi favorite. There's a few people who could fill in there. And obviously Alec Bohm, who's supposed to be, former Rookie of the Year runner-up, the perennial third baseman for the next 5-6 years. He's supposed to be that guy, but he hasn't been performing as well. But and Stott is kind of robbing the cradle from him in a way. And he's really proving that he can play anywhere in the infield, whether it's second, third, short, he can do it. And I think that right now if I had to say, it's probably going to be between Stott and Camargo, just because of those are the two most ready people. They've been performing the most, and they let Bohm just kind of sit in AAA for a while. And if injuries happen or performances go down, Bohm comes up. I think there's a lot of depth now with this team because so many people have stepped up. Mm-hmm. And there's this next man attitude that's really, gunning for all the places in the field. And that's going to be great if anyone falls short of performance or gets hurt.
Let me just say this. From now on, whenever a young prospect replaces another young prospect, I will only refer to it as robbing the cradle. That'll be the only, that'll be how it's described from this point on. I hereby decree it. So overall, you talk about the two positions right there that people are kind of fighting over. What we haven't talked about a lot on this show, at least, is the rotation. Ranger Suarez, I think, is bound for the bullpen. I don't have a lot of confidence in Ranger Suarez. I know he's going to start out in the starting rotation for this team. What are your overall expectations when it comes to a guy like Aaron Nola? What can we expect? When do you think we'll actually see Zach Wheeler on the hill? All these other guys, Zach Eflin, obviously, Gibson, all these guys. What can we expect overall from this rotation?
Well, overall, I think that, Aaron Nola can't have any more collapses. We can't have any more early season collapses, and we can't have bad seasons from Aaron Nola. He was supposed to be an ace. He's supposed to be an ace. He needs to perform as an ace, even though he is not. Zach Wheeler is definitely our ace this year, was last year, and should have gotten the opening day start, but obviously the setback with the injury. Right. He's had injuries in the past before in Queens when he was with the Mets, but I think that's a Mets thing, not a Phillies thing. I think, he showed he could be healthy for the entire year last year. He will again, and I think he's going to make his first start in that second series against the Mets as the fifth starter, though. I think it's going to go Nola, Gibson, Eflin, Suarez, and then Wheeler. I think that Suarez is an amazing pitcher. He was basically trained as a starting pitcher, entered the league as a starting pitcher in 18, 19. And he just they bounced him around the bullpen. That he pitched every single possible bullpen position: long relief, middle relief, closing pitcher, setup man, and starting pitcher last year. And he performed great at all of them. And I think that, once they consistently put him as the starter, he was only ramping up by the end of the last season as a starter, because he didn't have as many starts as some of the other guys. So I'm expecting him to ramp up just as much and have the longevity of the season. He's still a young guy. He's a lefty, which is a great thing to have in this Phillies bullpen, who's predominantly righties.